Okay, so Bo has, I think, limited information on what is happening right now because I was literally on the Deepak call earlier this week. All right, Bo. So let's talk about what's going on here.
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are going to talk about Trump and the possibility, the proposal to move the convention, the Republican convention, the convention where he would be nominated as their candidate officially. And there were two.
So this is something that a lot of voters don't understand about American politics, is that the parties are actually private organizations, right? You can run as a Republican. You can run as a Democrat. You can run as Green Party. You can run as a libertarian. In fact, Trump had a horrible experience trying to get the libertarian endorsement over the weekend. And if you look that up on YouTube, it's quite hilarious. He was booed the fuck out of. It was pretty good. But anyway, there's several parties. And these are private organizations that get together and decide to back a candidate. If you run as an independent, then you are not selecting a party, right? So like Ross Perot, there have been candidates that have run as independents and have been considered spoilers to some degree or whatever. But anyway, point being, the Republican Party can do whatever the fuck they want with their convention. So if they want to accommodate Trump, they can do this. Do I think it's a good idea for them? No. I don't know why they're laying all of their eggs in one basket this way, because he's obviously not been good for their local elections. Clearly, everybody he endorses does not get elected. So how is this good for you? I don't understand. But whatever, if you guys want to keep failing forward. Not my problem. But where Bo gets it wrong is that I was literally on the Democratic Party of Orange County call earlier this week, and we talked about the national convention and the fact that that Biden and Harris are not going to be there in person, and they will appear on Zoom. But that's because he's already got it wrapped up. Like, it's just procedural at this point. So why do our delegates actually go to this convention? Because they're going to be voting on like party platform and things that we do to organize. That's the purpose of the convention. His attendance would have been just as like a motivation booster, and it's really not that necessary. And when he knows the biggest delegation is coming from California and they're all assholes, I'll be real. I'm from California, and he's backed out of pretty much all of our local conventions, our state conventions, because he's been afraid that he would get booed off stage, because most of the people that got in LA and San Francisco were far more like libertarian Green Party than they were actual Democrats. And so, um, I mean, when I was up there in 2019 and he skipped that convention, there was graffiti on one of the billboards that I passed by on the freeway that was like "Go Home Biden" or something like that. You go a little too far left and they start getting really rowdy about him. And so he's trying to, avoid a situation where that would happen. Because that did happen to Hillary in 2016. You guys remember that? That she was booed. Her nomination was booed. So it's going to be done virtually, and I don't know that it's not going to be broadcast. It might still get booed, but I think that Bo doesn't really know what's going on here.
Sets of questions that came in. Most were from people who were obviously supporters of the Democratic Party. And then the other side came from Republicans asking a very different question. So we're going to go through them both. If you don't know what's going on, a whole lot of people who are very much Team Trump, they want to move the Republican convention and basically make sure that it takes place before his sentencing.
Okay.
Now, to the Democratic side of the aisle, the question that came in, can they really do this? Yeah. As far as I know, there is no law, no rule, nothing stopping them from doing this. It is not illegal. I don't even think it's improper. It's their party. If they want to move the convention, they can. I'm not aware of anything that would stop them from doing that. I would also point out that the Democratic Party is kind of doing something similar when it comes to Biden in Ohio.
I don't know about that.
It's not, to my knowledge, there's nothing stopping them from doing that. Now, to the Republican side of the aisle, your question, is this a good idea? Would this be necessary? All of this stuff? Oh, no, I think it's a horrible idea. Politically.
Do you think that's a fair comparison, though, Bo? Because that's not what's going on. That's not what's happening right now. So do you feel like projecting that idea to your base is fair? I can't even. I'm eating some pizza right now. Sorry, guys.
Speaking, it doesn't really make sense to me. So, I mean, I get it on a superficial level. You want to make sure that he's nominated before he's sentenced. Here's the thing. That kind of sends the message that you don't think he would be able to make it after his sentencing. That's how that comes across. Now, I don't think that that's a...
But Biden's not in that situation right now, so why are you making this a comparison?
realistic issue. I don't think that's a concern. Regardless of what the judge may say at sentencing, it seems pretty likely that the former president of the United States would be given the opportunity to appeal and all of that stuff.
Right.
So I don't think that politically it would be a good idea.
You only posted this like 44 minutes ago, and there's already articles out stating that he's going to try and appeal. Like, okay.
And then back to the Democratic side of the aisle and those questions, most of them were centered around the idea of stopping it, wanting to stop it.
Stop what?
Why? I mean, why would you want to? There's a reflexive thing to oppose anything that Trump wants to do. I get that. But, I mean, if he was nominated and things did not go well later, I don't see how that would hurt the Democratic Party. This is one of those things where if they want to do it, let them do it. I don't.
Look, if they want to prove that they're in favor of criminals, let them do it. They're in favor of like mob bosses and people who hobnob with Epstein and, have all these illicit relationships with people in New York. Whatever. Let them destroy their party. I don't care, because they have terrible ideals to begin with anyway.
See how it would alter any outcome, and I wouldn't put a lot of effort into opposing it in any way. To me, it's a bad move for the Republican Party to do that. Mm-hmm. But we'll see what they decide. Anyway.
They don't have a backup plan, Bo. That's why they're like, do we need to like speed this up because we don't have a backup plan? They should really just run Mitt Romney, but like I don't want to give them any recommendations, but they should just run Mitt Romney for fuck's sake. I can't even with them.
Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.
Okay, take care.
Never underestimate power.
Thank you for the content, and what the hell ever. But I don't know why you think that applies to the Democratic Party or how there's a comparison there, because Biden is not in danger of any sort of legal consequences right now. In fact, there was just an article out that all of the lower discussion in the subcommittees about him, all these Republicans that are in the House who wanted to try and figure out a way to impeach him, it was all thrown out. So that's done. It's gone. Like, there is nothing in his way. Period.